Brackett, Buckner Webb, Cameron, Davis, Durst, Fulcher, Getty, Guthrie, Hagedorn, Hyder, Hill,
Here.
Johnson, Keogh, Lacey, Lakey, Lodge, Martin, McKenzie, Mortimer, Nonini, Nuxel, Patrick, Pierce, Rice, Schmidt, Sidaway, Stennett, Thane, Tippett, Vick, Work, Winder, Cameron, Getty, Hagedorn, Johnson, Keogh, Nonini,
Roll call shows 33 present, 2 absent or excused. A quorum being present, the Senate is in session. Senate will now advance the second order of business. Prayer and Pledge of Allegiance will be led in prayer this morning by our Senate chaplain, Pastor James Wibberding. We invite our friends in the gallery to stand and join with us in prayer. And before praying, Senator Getty will be recognized as present.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, I'm grateful for these public servants who put their hands to the tasks of government again today. I also thank you for the progress that they have made this week. And as they continue to collaborate through both listening and vigorous debate, I ask that you give them a good, positive, and productive day again today. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. We'll be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by our Senate page, Megan Whitlock.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senate will advance the third order of business, reading and correction of the journal.
February 1st, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that the Senate Journal of the proceedings of January 31st, 2013 was read and approved as corrected. Lodge Chairman.
Without objection, the journal will be filed in the office of the Secretary.
Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
Personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, Senators, a quick roadmap. It's Friday. I love Fridays. And we're going to get some work done today if we can. It is our intent right now to go into the 10th order of business. There are 2 gubernatorial appointments that are eligible for consideration today. And so if you have one of those 2, if you'd be prepared to go, that'd be great. If there's a problem, let us know. Also, it is our intent to go into the 13th order of business, third reading calendar. I don't know how far into the calendar we're going to get today, but if you have legislation there, please be prepared to go. We'll start at the top and work our way down in the order that they're there. Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to advance to the 5th order of business.
Hearing no objection, the Senate will advance the 5th order of business, petitions, resolutions, and memorials.
Mr. President, I
ask
unanimous consent that all petitions, resolutions, and memorials be read by number, author, and title only, and the journal show they've been read at length.
Hearing no objection, is so ordered.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 103 by Transportation Committee, a concurrent resolution stating findings of the legislature and encouraging the Idaho Department of Commerce in collaboration with the University of Idaho Boise State University, Idaho State University, the College of Western Idaho, and other stakeholders to coordinate comments and identify a lead entity to prepare a proposal on behalf of the state for Idaho to be selected as one of the Federal Aviation Administration's 6 unmanned aircraft system test sites. In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 104 by State Affairs Committee, a concurrent resolution stating legislative findings and reaffirming the state of Idaho's commitment to the strong and deepening relationship between the state of Idaho and Taiwan, and encouraging ongoing participation in organizations that improve public safety, health, and trade.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 103 and Senate Concurrent Resolution 104 will be referred to the Judiciary and Rules Committee for printing.
There is no further business in the fifth order, Mr. President.
Before advancing to the sixth order of business, Senator Johnson will be recognized as present. Senate will now advance to the sixth order of business, reports of standing committees.
February 1st, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that Senate Bill 1048 and Senate Bill 1049 have been correctly printed. Lodge Chairman.
Senate Bill 1048 will be referred to the Judiciary and Rules Committee, and Senate Bill 1049 will be referred to the Resources and Environment Committee.
January 31st, 2013, the Local Government and Taxation Committee reports out House Bill 12 with the recommendation that it be referred to the 14th Order of Business for amendment. Sit-away Chairman.
Without objection, House Bill 12 will be referred to the 14th Order of Business for possible amendment.
February 1st, 2013, the Local Government and Taxation Committee reports out House Bill 5 and recommend that it do pass. Sit-away Chairman.
House Bill 5 will be referred to the 12th Order of Business, second reading calendar.
February 1st, 2013, the Health and Welfare Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Alan R. Schneider to the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, term to expire July 1st, 2015. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Hyder, Chairman.
Committee report dealing with the gubernatorial appointment of Alan Schneider will be referred to the 10th Order of Business and held for one legislative day.
February 1st, 2013, the State Affairs Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Eric R. Anderson to the Idaho Energy Resources Authority, term to expire June 30th, 2016, and Gary L. Mon to the Idaho Endowment Fund Investment Board, term to expire April 11th, 2016. The committee recommends that said appointments be confirmed by the Senate. McKenzie, Chairman.
Committee report relating to the gubernatorial appointments of Eric R. Anderson and Gary L. Mon will be referred to the 10th Order of Business and held for one legislative day.
There is no further business in the sixth order, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate advance to the 8th order of business.
Hearing no objection, the Senate will advance to the 8th Order of Business, messages from the Governor.
January 29th, 2013, the Honorable Brad Little, President of the Senate. Dear Mr. President, I have the honor to inform you that William B. Booth of Hayden, Idaho, was appointed to the Northwest Power and Conservation Council to serve a term commencing January 15th, 2013 and expiring January 15th, 2016. This appointment was made subject to confirmation by the Senate, and notice of appointment is hereby given. As always, Idaho, C.L. Butch Otter, Governor of Idaho.
The gubernatorial appointment of William B. Booth will be referred to the Resources and Environment Committee.
There is no further business in the eighth order, Mr. President.
Senate will advance to the 9th Order of Business, messages from the House.
January 31st, 2013. Mr. President, I transmit herewith House Bill 37, House Concurrent Resolution 2, House Bills 19, 20, and 21, which have passed the House. Alexander, Chief Clerk.
House Bill 37, House Concurrent Resolution Number 2, and House Bills 19, 20, and 21 will be referred to the 11th Order of Business for introduction.
There is no further business in the ninth order, Mr. President.
Senate will advance to the 10th Order of Business, motions and resolutions. The Senate now has before it for final consideration the committee report dealing with the gubernatorial appointment of Albert P. Get the right one here. Gary Spackman. Secretary will read the report.
January 28, 2013, the Resources and Environment Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Gary Spackman as Director of the Idaho Department of Water Resources, term to expire January 1, 2015. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Pierce, Chairman.
Mr. President,
Senator
I
Pierce.
move the Senate adopt the committee report.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
You've heard the motion. Senator Pierce?
Thank you, Mr. President. You can see there's a lot of enthusiasm to get this man appointed. And it's even bipartisan, so we're happy. You know, I'm happy to stand before you today, Senate, and bring this name to you. And I hope the things I tell you, you feel are appropriate, that we understand and know about this person, that we're going to confirm over a very important section of our government that's important to all of us. Gary Spackman is a 26-year veteran of state government. He's been appointed the director of the Idaho Department of Water Resources to serve a term for the next 4 years. He served as interim director already for 3 years, and he's overseen the 159 employees of that department. He has streamlined and done things that I'll tell you about in a few minutes that I think are important. But first, I want to tell you a little about his life. He grew up in a small rural community. He tells a story that when they used to ride the school bus, they'd buck hay all summer, and then in the fall when they'd ride the school bus, the kids would all look at the stacks of hay and make fun of those who couldn't stack a straight stack of hay. And that was always an issue. And you realize that's going back in a little time, because we don't hand stack much hay anymore, and so he did. Another thing I think is interesting thing about the family he came from, even there were 14 children in that family on that small dairy farm. All 14 children are still alive, and they're all married to the original spouse they started with. Again, I think an interesting record for a family. He also said he could make a straight barbed wire fence, so you know he's walked the walk. He enjoys meeting with the rural people of Idaho, the people in water and in agriculture and those issues. He's at home with them, he's very comfortable with them, and he's also very understanding of their problems. He and his wife have 3 children. He has a BS degree from Utah State University in agricultural engineering. He has a law degree from the J. Reuben Clark Law School, and he's also a registered professional civil engineer. He served as a law clerk in Soda Springs, and he also practiced law in Soda Springs after that. He served as an engineer in training at American Fork and also in Salt Lake City, Utah. You know, he presently has 15 water initiatives for economic development. A few of those initiatives are the work on the Galloway Dam, which is the largest project left in the west of an untapped river, an undammed river. He's helped broker the Idaho Water Resource Board commitment of $1.5 million for managed recharge over the next 5 years. He's completing the Rafton Prairie Comprehensive Aquifer Management Plan, and he has significantly reduced transfers, backlogs, and also eliminated water supply bank backlogs as well. Several years ago, looking at that backlog they carried, he pulled the employees together and said, we need to do something. What can we do? There's no additional money. Today, there were 500 applications for water transfers that were backlogged. They're down to 80 with no additional money. Should be someone after our heart doing that. Also, in the licensing permits from 1985, they were down to 3,500 licensing permits, and they're down to 2,500. So they reduced that backlog by 1,000 just very recently. With that in mind, I believe that you can, I can reasonably ask for your confirmation for him as the Director of Idaho Department of Water Resources, a very important resource. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Debate being open, is there further debate? Hearing none, Senator Pierce is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed, the question is, shall the Senate adopt the committee report? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and the report has been adopted. The report will be filed in the office of the Secretary, and the Governor will be so notified. The Senate now has before it for final consideration committee report dealing with the gubernatorial appointment of Randolph J. Hill to the Idaho Energy Resources Authority. Secretary will read the report.
January 31st, 2013, the State Affairs Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Randolph J. Hill to the Idaho Energy Resources Authority, term to expire June 30th, 2017. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. McKenzie, Chairman.
Senator Hagedorn.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
You've heard the motion and the second, and Senator Hagedorn is recognized to open debate on the motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are very fortunate to have men like Randy Hill step up and continue to serve in a public capacity. Here's a gentleman who has served as an energy and corporate lawyer and executive for over 30 years. He's a Georgetown graduate. He's Senior Vice President, Legal Energy Construction of URS Corporation. He's been the Associate Vice President and Associate General Counsel of Washington Group, CEO, President, General Counsel for Ida West Energy. Here's a gentleman who's been with Holly Troxel. The list goes on, and he continues to serve in a public capacity to help us go in a good direction with our energy resources. And I would hope that we would allow him to continue to serve in that capacity. And with that, Mr. President, debate is now open.
Debate being open, is there further debate? Hearing none, Senator Hagedorn is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is now closed.
Debate being closed, the question is, shall the Senate adopt the committee report? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and the report has been adopted. It will be filed in the office of the Secretary, and the Governor will be so notified.
There is no further business in the 10th order, Mr. President.
The Senate will advance to the 11th order of business, introduction and first reading of bills. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that all bills on first reading be read by number, author, and title only, and the journals show they've been read at length.
Without objection, is so ordered.
In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1050 by Transportation Committee, an act relating to motor vehicle dealers, to revise provisions relating to education requirements of applicants for a wholesale dealer's license. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1051 by Transportation Committee, an act relating to aeronautics, to establish provisions relating to restrictions on gathering evidence or other information through the use of a drone or other unmanned aircraft, and to provide for consent. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1052 by Transportation Committee, an act relating to motor vehicles, to revise provisions relating to the powers of local authorities with respect to highways, to provide that certain speed limits may be altered or established on the basis of certain engineering and traffic investigations.
Senate Bills 1050, 1051, and 1052 will be referred to the Judiciary and Rules Committee for printing.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 37 by Environment, Energy, and Technology Committee, an act relating to the Wood and Mill Yard Debris Committee, to revise provisions relating to the appointment of the Wood and Mill Yard Debris Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Concurrent Resolution number 2 by Environment, Energy, and Technology Committee, a concurrent resolution stating findings of the legislature and recognizing and congratulating Madison County and its residents for the county's centennial anniversary. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 19 by Transportation and Defense Committee, an act relating to airports, relating to state designation of airports. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 20 by Transportation and Defense Committee, an act relating to the tax on motor fuels, to clarify that refunds apply to gaseous special fuels. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 21 by Transportation and Defense Committee, an act relating to municipal airports, to remove language relating to certain pre-application approval by the Idaho Transportation Department.
House Bill 37 will be referred to the Health and Welfare Committee. House Concurrent Resolution number 2 will be referred to the State Affairs Committee. House Bill 19 will be referred to the Transportation Committee. House Bill 20 will be referred to the Local Government and Taxation Committee, and House Bill 20 will be referred to the Transportation Committee.
There is no further business in the 11th order, Mr. President.
Senate will advance to the 12th order of business, second reading calendar. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I wonder if the good senator from 35 could be recognized for a unanimous consent request.
Senator Sidaway, would you like to be recognized?
Mr. President, thank you. Mr. President, I have a unanimous consent request that 1003 be sent to the 14th order. May I explain?
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, thank you. Senators, as I was reading through this bill, I ran onto a provision that would prevent my sheep herders from protecting those sheep. So I would like to have the opportunity to amend this bill. Thank you.
Hearing no objection, Senate Bill 1003 will be referred to the 14th order of business for possible amendment. Senator Davis?
President, I ask unanimous consent that all bills in this order of business be read by number and author only, and the journal show they've been read at length.
Hearing no objection, is so ordered.
In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1016 by Judiciary and Rules Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1017 by Judiciary and Rules Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1018 by Judiciary and Rules Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1001 by Resources and Environment Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1004 by Resources and Environment Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1027 by Education Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1024 by Agricultural Affairs Committee.
Senate Bill 1016, Senate Bill 1017, Senate Bill 1018, Senate Bill 1001, Senate Bill 1004, Senate Bill 1027, and Senate Bill 1024 will be referred to the 13th order of business, third reading calendar.
There's no further business in the 12th order, Mr. President.
Senate will advance to the 13th order of business, third reading calendar. Senate now has before it for final consideration Senate Bill 1007. Secretary will read the bill.
In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1007 by Transportation Committee, an act relating to motor vehicle registration, to revise a term, to remove a reference to Idaho, and to add language relating to staggered registration.
Senator
Mr.
Bach.
President. Thank you, Mr. President. I ask unanimous consent that further reading of Senate Bill 1007 be dispensed with, and the journal show it has been read third time at length, section by section, and placed before the Senate for final consideration.
For the unanimous consent request, hearing no objection, is so ordered. Senator Bach is recognized to open debate on the bill.
Thank you. I was hoping I could open the debate. Thank you, Mr. President and fellow senators. I think we're all pretty familiar with our registration system, where when you buy a motor vehicle, you essentially have to pay for the registration for that vehicle in subsequent years by the end of the same month in which you purchase it. That system operates fairly because people are more or less given full 12-month periods of registration for their vehicle. Well, this does not apply currently to motorcycles, and as I read it, doesn't even apply to some school buses and things. So, for example, if you bought a motorcycle, and this was a topic of some discussion earlier, if you buy a motorcycle, let's say on December 31st, it conceivably could get a sticker number 12, and then you would have to pay for a registration almost immediately after you bought it. So what this does is moves motorcycles and moves buses to the same staggered system that we have for other motor vehicles now, and is definitely more fair. Now, I just want to bring to your attention one point, and that is there is a fiscal consequence to having a fair system, and it would be a $60,000 loss in motorcycle registration fees, which has an impact on the budget. And there's some other miscellaneous costs in there too that we will have to more or less eat in order to make the system uniform and fair. I know we're loath to adopt any bill that has a fiscal impact, but I think this is one where what's right is right. Everybody should be operating under the same system. People should not be required to pay a full year of registration for, let's say, 1 month, let alone only 1 day. So with that, Mr. President and fellow senators, I urge your yes vote on Senate Bill 1007.
Debate being open, is there further debate? Hearing none, Senator Bach is recognized. Close debate.
Mr. President and fellow senators, debate is closed.
Debate being closed, the question is, shall Senate Bill 1007 pass the Senate? Secretary will call the roll.
Bear. Bayer. Bach. Brackett. Buckner Webb. Cameron. Davis. Durst. Fulcher. Getty. Guthrie. Hagedorn. Hyder. Hill.
Aye.
Johnson. Keogh. Lacey. Lakey. Lodge. Martin. McKenzie. Mortimer. Nonini. Nuxel. Patrick. Pierce. Rice. Schmidt. Sidaway. Stennett. Thane. Tippett. Fick. Work. Winder.
Roll call shows 35 aye. A majority having voted in the affirmative, Senate Bill 1007 has passed the Senate. Is there correction to the title? Hearing none, title is approved, and Senate Bill 1007 will be transmitted to the House of Representatives. Senate now has before it for final consideration Senate Bill 1008. Secretary will read the bill.
In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1008 by Transportation Committee. An act relating
Mr. President,
Senator Buckner Webb.
I ask for unanimous consent that further reading of Senate Bill 1008 be dispensed with, and the journal show it has been read the third time at length, section by section, and placed before the Senate for final consideration.
Further unanimous consent request. Is there objection? Hearing none, so ordered, and Senator Buckner Webb will be recognized to open debate on the bill.
This legislation comes to us from the Idaho Transportation Department. It amends Idaho Code to allow the department to gain security, control, and gain further efficiencies by handling and managing the issuance of all salvage vehicle ownership documents. The change provides for one secure ownership document, the certificate of title for all vehicle ownership. The change authorizes ITD to be the only issuing entity for ownership certificates. Salvage certificates will no longer be issued by insurance companies, and the salvage pools for vehicles they retain after payoff, they would apply the salvage titles to the department, who would issue all salvage titles. Blank secure salvage paperwork would no longer be housed by insurance companies or salvage pools. The department would securely house all blank certificates used by all vehicle ownership, including salvage vehicles. The titles will be issued with a prominent salvage designation on the face of the title. The department would implement a streamlined process to expedite issuance of salvage titles for insurance companies and salvage pools. The salvage status would be recorded on the DMV system immediately upon the issue of any salvage title, eliminating the delay in recording that occurs today and the time an issuer or salvage pool issues a salvage certificate and the time the department receives the copy of the salvage certificate. The fees for salvage titles would be the same as they are for any title. When an insurance company has allowed a vehicle owner to retain his salvage vehicle after a total loss payoff, a 30-day time frame is being added to the existing requirement to notify the department so it can mark its title record. When an insurer has made a total loss payoff for a stolen vehicle, the vehicle, when recovered, is not damaged, and the vehicle is not damaged to the extent that it is a salvage vehicle. In addition to marking the title record with the notation theft recovery, the title certificate would also carry the notation theft recovery. I ask for a yes vote.
Debate being open, is there further debate? Hearing none,
Senator?
Sit down.
Or, Mr.
Senator
President,
Sidaway.
excuse me. I'm sorry. I had a question for the good senator, and I can't see her.
Senator from 19, Buckner
19.
Webb, would you yield to a question?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. President.
Senator Stady's question.
Good senator, I was just wondering, when you talk about the theft of autos and the transfer of title and stuff, if in that theft or in that transfer and in that salvage process, if there were found a roll of electrical wire that was stolen from irrigation equipment. Would there be a process in that to investigate where that wire may have come
I'm
from?
sorry, sir. Let's see.
Senator Buckner-Webb,
I can't see your number.
to respond to the senator from District 35.
The good senator from 35. There's no provision in this legislation for that
Okay.
process.
And a
Senator Sidaway, follow up?
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Buckner-Webb, would you yield further?
I will yield.
thank
Senator
you.
Sidaway.
And I just wondered in those provisions, if there is a stolen property found within those cars when that search is done and all the verification is done, is there any way to trace back where those items may have come from?
Senator
I was-
Buckner-Webb to respond.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would say to the good gentleman from 25 that is not provided for in this legislation. I would hope that the paper trail would help assist law enforcement in doing just that.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further debate. Senator Mortimer.
Thank you, Mr. President. A question for the good senator from 19.
Senator Buckner-Webb, would you respond
did I
to a
get that?
question?
I'd be glad to.
Senator
respond.
Mortimer to state his inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good senator, my question is when there is a vehicle that has been damaged and is a total write-off,
Yes, sir.
and the insurance company has paid the person for that vehicle, I missed whose responsibility it was to contact the transportation department to indicate that, to put on that title whether it was a completely damaged vehicle or not. Please, if you would answer that for me.
The
Senator
gentleman
Buckner-Webb
from-
to respond.
Yes, sir. To the good gentleman from 30. Let's see. Let me make sure I understand your question. A vehicle is damaged and it is salvaged, and who informs ITD? Is that the question, sir?
Senator Mortimer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good senator, that is correct. That's
That would
my
be the
question.
responsibility of the insurance company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there further debate? Senator Bach.
Yes, Mr. President. Will the good senator from District 19 yield to another question?
Senator Buckner-Webb, would you yield further?
I will yield.
Senator Bach.
Thank you, good senator. I was a little concerned in the question that the good senator from District 35 asked about the wire. I believe you referred to it as copper wire. Would it matter if it were platinum wire?
I believe the same. I'm sorry,
Senator
Mr. President.
Buckner-Webb.
I would imagine the same response applies.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there further debate? Hearing none, Senator Buckner-Webb is recognized to close debate.
Mr. President, debate is closed.
Debate being closed, the question is, shall Senate Bill 1008 pass the Senate? Secretary will call the roll.
Bear? Bayer? Bach? Brackett? Buckner-Webb? Cameron? Davis? Durst? Vulture? Getty? Guthrie? Hagedorn? Hyder? Hill?
Aye.
Johnson? Keough? Lacey? Lakey? Lodge? Martin? McKenzie? Mortimer? Nonini? Nuxel? Patrick? Pierce? Rice? Schmidt?
To explain my vote, Mr. President.
Senator Schmidt has 60 seconds to explain his vote.
I'm very sorry. I feel an obligation to explain this vote. I represent my district and the state of Idaho, and I'm trying to balance these roles here. My best friend in my district runs a junkyard, and he has told me that this will significantly affect how junkyards deal with cars, and because of that, I'm going to have to vote no. Thank you.
Senator Schmidt votes no.
Sidaway? No. Stennett? Thane? Tippett? Vick? No. Work? Winder? Bear? Bach?
Mr. President, could I have 60 seconds to explain my vote?
Senator not having debated the bill has 60 seconds.
Yes, and given the extensive platinum mines in my district, I am concerned about the consequences this bill may have on some of those mines, so this senator votes no.
Senator Bach votes no.
Brackett? Davis? Durst? Getty? Johnson? McKenzie? Nonini? Rice? Winder? Yes.
Mr. President,
Senator Bear?
would you change my vote to aye?
Senator Bear changes his vote from nay to aye.
Mr. President,
Senator Cameron?
would you change my vote to aye, please?
Senator Cameron's vote will be
Mr.
changed to
President.
aye. Senator Mortimer?
Mr. President, would you change my vote to aye?
Senator Mortimer's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Bach?
Mr. President, could you please change my vote to aye?
Senator Bach's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Nuxall?
Mr. President, would you please change my vote to aye also?
Will be changed to aye. Senator Patrick?
Mr. President, would you change my vote to aye?
Senator Patrick's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Rice?
Mr. President, would you change my vote to aye?
Senator Rice's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Martin?
Mr. President, would you please change my vote to aye?
Senator Martin's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Hyder?
Mr. President, please change my vote to aye.
Senator Hyder has reconsidered and he will change his vote to aye. Senator Durst?
Wait, please change to aye.
Senator Durst's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Hagedorn?
Mr. President, would you please change my vote to aye?
Senator Hagedorn's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Fulcher?
Thank you, Mr. President. Please change my vote to aye.
Senator Fulcher's vote will be changed to aye. Senator Lakey?
Mr. Chairman, after much reflection, please change my vote to aye.
Senator Lakey, after much reflection, changes his vote to aye. Senator Guthrie?
Thank you, Mr. President. Will you change my vote to aye?
Senator Guthrie also would like his vote changed to aye. Senator Sidaway?
Mr. President, in reconsideration, would you please change my vote to aye?
Senator Sidaway's vote will be changed to aye. Roll call shows 33 aye, 2 nay. Majority having voted in the affirmative, Senate Bill 1008 has passed the Senate. Is there correction to the title? Hearing none, title is approved, and Senate Bill 1008 will be transmitted to the House of Representatives. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, ask unanimous consent to advance to the 15th order of business.
Hearing no objection, the Senate will advance to the 15th order of business, miscellaneous business, and introductions.
Mr. President, personal privilege.
Senator Davis has the floor.
First of all, to Senator Buckner Webb and all our freshmen, welcome to the Idaho State Senate. Next week, it is our intention to come in at 11:15. We had 5 bills come from the 6, or gubernatorial appointments come out of the 6 today, so the work will start to stack up here over the next several weeks, and so we're going to ratchet back to 11:15. However, for planning purposes on Wednesday, in consultation with the Joint Committee, and my apologies to the other morning committees for not having called, it is our intention to come in at 10:30 a.m. on Wednesday. It will be a short session, but we do plan to come in at 10:30 on Wednesday. We will focus our attention next week on gubernatorial appointments as well as the third reading calendar in an effort to stay on top of it. We will soon adjourn till the hour of 11:15 on Monday. Prior to adjournment, I ask if there are introductions or other announcements.
Senator Nonini.
Thank you, Mr. President, for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow senators, earlier in the week, our good doorman Al Henderson asked me if I would introduce a couple of his friends that he goes to church with. they would be here on Friday, and he gave me the names of the two gentlemen. They're up in the gallery, and on our right is a Mr. Eldon Gray that I met this morning, and on our left is a Mr. Paul Young. And as it be, Mr. Paul Young is from Wallace, Idaho. I grew up with his family, skied with them. He owned the newspaper in Wallace, and I have not seen Paul in about 30 years. So it was really neat this morning to get a visit with Paul, and please extend a warm Idaho Senate welcome to Mr. Gray and Mr. Young.
Further announcements. Senator Guthrie.
Thank you, Mr. President, for a personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President and Senators, as you know, I came over from the House, and when I did, they informed me that you guys over here didn't know how to have fun. I can tell you that report seems to be an error.
Thank you, Senator Guthrie, and that's as good as it gets. Senator Lodge.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators that are on the Millennium Fund Committee, we will have a meeting at noon on Monday. You will be receiving an email from Margaret Major telling you the place. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you, Senator. Further announcements.
Mr. President.
Senator Winder.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've got several pieces of legislation that have moved into the 14th order due to travel and our caucus on Wednesday. We're going to try and go into the 14th order on Tuesday morning. So that means you need to have your amendments in no later than 4 o'clock Monday afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Further announcements? Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I move the Senate adjourn till the hour of 11:15 a.m. on Monday.
Senator Stennett.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
You've heard the motion and the second that the Senate adjourn until 11:15 a.m. on Monday. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, and Senate will stand adjourned.
Idaho in Session, Legislature Live, the Senate Channel. Funding is provided by the Idaho State Broadcasters Association, with additional support from the Union Pacific Foundation, the Idaho Association of Counties, the Association of Idaho Cities, the Idaho Cable Telecommunications Association, and your contributions to the Idaho Public Television Endowment.